Bridget Bartlett here. I am the CEO and founder of Vision Marketing and Design. Let me mute that. Welcome to today's trading. I am, like I said, I'm Bridget Bartlett. We are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, what we're going to talk about today is actually how to create a sales pipeline. Okay. This is actually incredibly important because everyone asks me all the time, how do I get leads for my business? Or they say, hey, I'm getting leads, but they never turn into sales. Okay. Because there's a huge gap between collecting the email and someone actually paying for your service. Okay. A lot of people think, well, I'll just send emails. You know, the follow-up email campaign, because that's what we're taught, right? Is we just follow up with emails and eventually someone will decide that they want to take action and make a purchase. That's not actually the best way. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, especially if you have built a brand for yourself, if you are offering a lot of value, if you are presenting products that your customer is interested in. Those are all great things to do, and those will definitely get you sales. But there is nothing better than that in-person, booking an appointment, basically, right? So this whole training series that we've been working on is how to create a course funnel using HighLevel. Okay, so HighLevel is the white label SaaS platform that I use in my agency. It's also what we use in the training program. So if you do want to create a free 14-day trial, you can click the link in the description or go to highlevel.visionmarketinganddesign.com. Okay, so if you use my affiliate link, you're actually going to get a free membership into my training program. So I have lots of things for you. One of the things that I'm going to be giving you is this whole course that we've created. Okay, so the actual course is like a white labeled course, meaning it's unbranded. And with HighLevel, we can actually just create like a snapshot, and then you can have the whole course with the membership area and everything. And then you're also going to get the whole sales funnel that we created. You will have, I didn't create the email sequence because, again, what I want to show you is not just how to send emails. Okay, we can all send emails, we can all build an email campaign and all of that. But what I want to show you is actually how to get a higher conversion with that lead by booking an appointment. Okay, but it's not just having them book an appointment. It's actually having them show up for the appointment and then tracking that progress, right? So in the sales funnel that we've been talking about, we had the lead magnet, which is the free thing that we're giving away. Then we had the first sale or the front end offer, which is an ebook, and then we have the upsell, which is a course. Okay, but the ebook's $7. The course is like $27. I think we made it $27 or $17. That's not the goal of the funnel, right? The goal of the funnel is to get that information and then give them value, but also to warm them up into your whatever your business is, right? So if I'm the agency owner or I'm doing affiliate marketing and my target audience is people who are interested in making money on Fiverr, this is a great course for them, right? So you're giving them the value, they purchase it. But even if they don't purchase it, again, you have to think about, what is my actual call to action? What do I actually want them to do? Okay, so while you can send an email sequence, and I do really recommend it, the point of the email sequence is not really to get them to purchase the course. Okay, let's say they opt in and you want them to purchase the ebook, right? That's going to be the first thing that you offer them. And then you want to upsell them on the course. But again, that's not the main focus. Okay. So if they don't buy that ebook, it doesn't mean that now you just have this lead that goes nowhere. Okay. What we want to do is actually get them to opt in, and then we have that contact information. And then, of course, the call to action is to book. Okay. One of the things that I absolutely love about what I'm doing with my business is the whole consulting thing. Okay. So it doesn't matter if this is great for affiliate marketing or agency, if you're an agency owner or a coach or something like that, because we have lots of solutions. Okay. If someone books an appointment with me, I want to find out, what are their goals and how can I help them get there, right? I mean, isn't that all what we're trying to do in business? We all want to help our client or our potential client reach whatever their goals are. So as an affiliate marketer, as a coach, as an agency owner, we have lots of resources. And what we want to do is not just sell our product, right? Because we have more than one product. We're not just trying to do that. We're trying to be a solution. So if you come to me and you're like, look, I'm brand new to marketing. I don't have an agency. I have a solution for you, right? I have a solution to meet you wherever you are, whether it's your experience or your budget. All right. But I need to talk to you. We need to have this meeting. I need to find out you personally, what are your goals? Now, can I build out a whole sales funnel and do trainings and all of these things? Yes, I could. But people are sick of all that. And that's not custom, right? I mean, I could do a training like, hey, if you have this much experience, do this. But that's not really going to help me build that relationship with that person. Okay. That's not really going to help them, fast track all these different videos and things that we're all sent to videos and webinars and we all get emails and they don't get opened. If you really want to make an impact, much faster, even before you have like an audience or anything, getting them to book that appointment is really, really crucial. All right. So we create this pipeline. We could create the pipeline, like especially if you're selling like your own course. Maybe you do want to create a pipeline where it talks. You can build it out to where it's like, okay, they opted in, they purchased the ebook, they purchased the course, or maybe they didn't and they booked it up. You could create a pipeline like that. But I am going to be giving you this funnel, and I really want to encourage you to have them book the appointment. Okay, so obviously you need to have your booking calendar. We've talked about that. There's training on that as well. But so what we're going to do is we're going to create a pipeline today, and we're going to create the stages, and then I'm going to show you how to automate that. Okay. So I do see that Linwood is here, and Val, hello Val, hello Linwood, and Maria, hello, Accent Webnut, hello, Frankie is here, hello, hello. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen here. And I am in my training account here, and there is actually, if I go to the demo here, you can see basically what a pipeline. I just want to show you this so you actually see what it looks like when there's actual content in there. So let it load here. If you ever have like the slow loading thing, if you use an incognito window, it's much better because browser extensions and cookies and caches, that definitely slows it down. It's not a HighLevel thing. It's actually, when you're using a web-based software, that's just it's typical. Okay, so I'm actually not in this. So anyway, that was a side note. So this is basically like the basic process that you want for your pipeline. Okay, so in this example, we have these people who have opted in as a lead. Okay. These people have done some action that we have set that tells us they're interested. So maybe we want to tag them as interested and then add them to the pipeline when they have actually, maybe they clicked on something or some kind of trigger that we've set, or maybe they landed on a page or something like that in our website. If we want to say interested, one good thing is maybe when they're opening emails or they're clicking in emails, maybe you want to add that as your trigger to add them to the interested. There's lots of different things and triggers and things that you can set up to actually create this little card inside the pipeline. And then, you can book the appointment. And then if they're not interested, or you actually sold them something and they became a customer. Okay. So you can see here, besides it just being visually clear, by using a sales pipeline, it also, you can, because these are in different stages, I could send out a message to everyone who is marked tagged or everyone who is in this stage of my pipeline. And I could just send one message, like a text or maybe a ringless voicemail or an email or something like that, right? So keeping this organized is awesome. So let's actually just go through the process of creating a pipeline. So I'm going to go to my training account here. As soon as it loads. Okay. Now, If you go to pipelines, you'll actually see here a selection of your pipelines. So you can have unlimited amounts of pipelines. And you don't have to just think of this as like sales, okay? Or like lead generation. You can also use this as like project management, right? You can build out pipelines to help you track the progress of certain projects and things. Okay, so definitely keep your mind open. Just because this tool was actually built to help you keep track of your sales and actually turn them into customers, but you can still use it for project management. And I'm really excited about that aspect as well, because I used to use and I still kind of do use smart task, but I'm actually starting to add a lot of my processes into HighLevel instead of using smart task. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a pipeline. Okay, so we're going to say lead gen, or actually, I should click here. Let's say lead gen. Let's say lead gen funnel. Okay. Now, the first stage of the pipeline is what's the first action, right? What's the first thing that they're going to do? They're going to opt in. All right. So let's just say opt in just to make it very, very clear. All right. So if we set a trigger or an automation for this stage here, we are going to set it for when they fill out the form, okay, when they opt in to the funnel. And you don't have to just like, maybe you have, like, I know I definitely have multiple lead generating funnels. So I can actually create a pipeline for all of the different funnels into one place. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like if we're doing the make money on Fiverr or marketing funnel or the SEO funnel or something like that. It doesn't have to be a different pipeline for each funnel. Okay, you can do that with tags and different things. But so let's say they have opted in. And then we can say for stage 2, they need to do some type of action. So let's just, for the sake of clarity, let's just say they took action. Okay. And then for this one here, maybe the next stage that we want to track is maybe they booked an appointment, right? Because that is our main call to action. And then after they've booked an appointment, the next stage would be they showed up for the appointment, right? So let's actually track that as well. So they actually showed for appointment. Okay, and then let's say that became a client. Or let's see, client. And then let's say we're going to add one here that just says not interested. Or we could say holding. Or we could say lost. Okay, so basically what this is I'm just trying to find a good word for some like a client who maybe we've tried to make multiple attempts to contact or whatever. We've already had the appointment and they're just not answering. So we could just say abandoned, lost, whatever you want to call it. And, for become a client, we could call that one or whatever we want to say. But so let's say this is the typical funnel that we want to, or the typical pipeline that we want to use. Now you do have these options here when it comes to like tracking things. So you can use like, if you hover over it, actually, it says hide from pie chart on dashboard. So if you don't want to include that, you could uncheck that. And then if you click here, it says hide from funnel chart on dashboard. So just depends on your purpose, how you want to set that up. And then for the whole pipeline, you could choose those same functions down here. So if you don't want this pipeline at all to show in the funnel chart or the visible in the pie chart, you can toggle these off or each individual item. Okay, so again, it just depends on your business structure and how you have it set up. So let's say this is the pipeline that we want to use. Okay, so I'm just clicking to create. Now, when I go to opportunities, if you choose this option here, you'll see the pipeline we just created. Okay, so we can toggle between all of our pipelines that we create, but for this example, we want to just choose lead generation funnel. Okay, so you see here, they've opted in, They took action, they booked an appointment, they actually showed for the appointment, they became a client, or we lost that customer. Okay. So now what do you do with this, right? So go to the automations and let's go ahead and create a workflow. So let's start from scratch. And we talked about workflows yesterday, so if you missed that training, definitely go back and watch that. So I'm going to click here, and let's choose a trigger, okay? So remember, the very first stage in our pipeline is that they opted into our funnel, okay? So let's go ahead and click here for form submitted. All right, now we need to choose, do we want every form in our account to be the trigger for this workflow, or do we want a specific form to be the trigger? So I do want a specific form. So I'm going to click here to filter, and then I'm going to choose form is, and then choose the actual form in our funnel. Okay, so this is my test account. I'm not really sure which form it is, but for the sake of the training, let's go ahead and choose, let's see, let's say discovery call claim. Okay, so when they fill out this form, it's going to trigger this workflow that we're creating right now. So let's say this is the form on the funnel that we are wanting to use this workflow for. All right, so I'm going to click Save Trigger. Now, once they have filled out that form, what do we want to happen next? Okay, so I'm going to click here. Now, we can, send a call, we can, or a ringless voicemail, we can make a phone call, we can, send a message on Messenger, send an email. We have all of these options, and we talked about that yesterday. So I really want to focus more, instead of the follow-up process that we talked about already, I want to focus more on how to move them through the pipeline, okay? So you could literally create this whole workflow for your follow-ups, you're moving the pipeline, you're tagging, all of those things you can do inside the same workflow. But again, I just want to focus on moving through the pipeline and automating that process. So I'm actually going to click here for the action. So they fill out the form, and then I want it to do an action. Okay, so I'm going to click here to add or update the opportunity. All right, so I'm going to choose the pipeline that I just created, lead generating funnel, and then I want to choose the stage within that pipeline that I want I want them to move to as soon as they submit the form. Okay, so I'm going to choose the opt-in here, and you can choose the opportunity name. What I like to do is the contact's name, so I'm going to actually put a tag here. So I'm going to choose contact full name. So when it shows up on the card as the opportunity name, it's going to be the actual client's name. Okay, so I also want to put the source, because while you can use tags and things like that, I just like to use the source. You can actually go down here, go to, I think it's account. Let me see where it actually is. Maybe contact. Okay, source. So you go to contact, and then you go to source. Okay, so when it shows up in the card, it's going to show me where they opted in. This is really important if you are using like the same form, or you're using the same workflow or something like that for multiple triggers. So you can also add a lead value here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then you can also add a status. Okay, so when they opt in to your funnel, it's open, right? That you haven't, they're not a customer, but they are an open opportunity, right? So they're open to your business because they became a lead, right? You can also toggle this on if you want to allow the opportunity to move to a previous stage in the pipeline, or allow duplicate opportunities. We're not going to talk about that today because I don't want to confuse you. I just want to make it very, very simple so that you can start using all of these really, really cool tools. And of course, as you get used to the workflow, you're going to come up with all kinds of really exciting things that you're like, oh my gosh, I could totally add that to my workflow. That would help me out so much. So don't get kind of overwhelmed with all the things you can do. You will learn that as your business progresses. Okay, you're gonna realize, oh man, I really need to add that tag there, or I really need to add that step to the workflow, because I'm realizing that as my leads are coming in, I need this extra thing to be automated. Okay, so it's really easy. You just come back to the workflow, you add that step, and you can keep building as you go on. Okay. So let's say that as soon as they submit the form, we want them to be added to the pipeline. We want them in the stage called opt-in, and this is the information that we're going to create. Now I'm going to save action. Okay, so now that's all you need to do to update this opportunity here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and save this. All right, now we could create another pipeline. So let's just go back here and actually let's start over here. Okay. We'll just use the same pipeline, because what we've done now is we've said, okay, when they submit the form, we want to create that opportunity. Okay. So what's going to happen is going to add the contact to your contacts area. And then it's also going to add a card in the opt-in pipeline. Okay. With that client's information. So now we could choose here. To add another trigger. Let's go ahead and just delete this. Okay, so really what we could do is create a whole new thing. Let me just delete this and we'll start over, because we're just, we're just learning. Okay, so let's say we want to tell it to do something to make them go to the interested card. Okay. So we can create another workflow if you want to. And then let's say when they, let's see. Let's say when they click on a trigger link. Okay, so a trigger link is a link that you create ahead of time, and it could be anything, but it's basically a link that you want to trigger another action. So for me, I love to use like the Zoom link. Okay, so I use my personal Zoom link and I added it to a trigger. So I created a trigger link, and then when someone clicks that Zoom link, it actually changes them in my pipeline to showed. Okay, so it changes them to showed, and then it updates that. Okay, so let's choose this. We'll go to add filters because we want to choose the specific link. So I'm going to choose trigger link, and I only have one in this account. So we're going to say every time someone clicks that trigger link, the one that's called test, then we want it to do this action that we're going to tell it to do. Okay, so I'm going to click save. So this can be any link that you want to. Maybe it's a link in your emails, or maybe it could even be your booking link, because remember, we want to show, that's our main call to action, right? So if we're going to add them to the next stage in that pipeline, which is interested, maybe at the bottom of every email that we're sending, or, whatever our correspondence is, we can do text or whatever. But if they click that booking link, maybe they don't book, but they click the link, so that shows their intention to book. So maybe now we want to add them to the interested pipeline, okay, or the interested opportunity within the pipeline. So they click that link, and now let's set the action. Okay, so we're going to go down here to update opportunity. And again, we're going to choose the pipeline that we want to use. Let's say lead generating funnel, and then we could choose took action. Okay, so let's go ahead and click there. And again, we can use the tags, and I won't bore you with all that. Same process as before. And then we can choose the status. So it would still be open, right? Because we didn't win the opportunity. They're not lost, and they haven't abandoned. So let's just say open, and then you can save the action. Okay. So, and then you would, of course, want to save it, and make sure that when you save, you also publish, okay? Because that's what actually makes it live, all right? So now we've talked about how to automate the opt-in, and then how to automate the interested, okay? You could also change this, like maybe in the pipeline, you have like a tag. So if you wanted to tag them, and then you wanted whatever you set that tag to change to the pipeline, you could do that as well, okay? So let me get out of here, and let's go ahead and just delete this. Okay, so we talked about the opt-in, we talked about the interested, now the booked, okay? So how do we move them to the booked opportunity within that pipeline? So let's click here now. Let's go to CRM, and let's say appointment, okay? Now, we can have any appointment in our account, or we can actually filter to specific appointment status. Okay, so let's click here. And maybe when they confirm, when we have confirmed or they confirm, however you set that up in your process. So when they have a confirmed appointment status, okay, that's what we want to trigger the booked. All right, so I'm going to click here, and I can click here to update the opportunity. So when I go here, to add update. And then again, I'm going to choose the pipeline, and then I'm going to choose the opportunity within the pipeline. Okay, so I'm going to choose booked appointment, and then same thing here. Use the tags for opportunity name, opportunity source, and so on. Okay, so it would still be open because you've actually won that opportunity. So same thing. Okay, so now we talked about booked. Now, how about the next stage? Okay, so they showed for the appointment. All right. So what I like to do is when they click here and we have marked them showed. Okay. So what I do is I actually set up a trigger link so that it, like I was just saying, so that it automatically marks showed. But when it's marked showed, then what happens, right? We want to tell it that when the appointment is marked showed, what stage in the pipeline do we want to move them to? Okay, so we would save that trigger. We would go here to add the action, go to add update opportunity, same thing, lead generating funnel, and this time we're going to choose the showed for appointment. Okay. And then same thing for all of these. And again, it would be open because they've not actually purchased. Okay. So the next stage, let's go ahead and just delete this. So they've showed for the appointment. Okay. Let me see what the actual next stage would be. So let's say appointment. Appointment status is showed. Let me just do this so I can see what the next stage was without going all the way back. So we have opportunity, lead generating funnel, pipeline. Okay, they showed for the appointment, and then become a client. Okay, so there's lots of ways they can become a client, but maybe for this example, they filled out an order form on our website, and that is how we want them to move to the become a client. Okay, so what we would do is, let's cancel out of this. Let's delete this. Okay. So let's set a trigger. Let's go to the CRM, and we're going to choose order form. Okay, so let's go down, not form submitted, it's actual order form submission. Okay, so let's go ahead and filter. And we want to choose, is it any form in our whole account that we want them to trigger this section here? You totally could do that because technically it would be valid, right? If they become a customer, it doesn't matter if they purchased an ebook or they purchased Google ads or a web design or whatever, they could still be considered order form submission and a paid client. But if you wanted to choose a specific website or submission type, okay, you could choose submission type and then actual sale. Okay, so do you want the submission type to be a bump sale, an opt-in, or a sale, or an upsell? Let's just say sale. Save trigger. Okay, so now let's choose the stage in the pipeline. So let's go to add update opportunity. Same thing, lead generating funnel. And then we want to go to become a client. Okay, same thing here, and then save your action. Okay, so that is become a client. And then the last one is going to be lost. Okay, so let's actually, let's delete this. And let's see, and to be quite honest, I'm not quite sure what I would put as lost here. But let's say if we move the contact to do not disturb, like let's say that we're sending emails and all of that, or maybe text messages, and then they respond and say stop. And we don't want to do any marketing to them anymore. They've said, hey, I don't want you to contact me anymore. Then we could say maybe at this point we want to just mark them as lost. So we could say do not disturb, and we could also filter if we wanted to choose, the D&D flag or any of these additional things. Let's just delete that, and we'll just say anytime in this whole account that we marked them or somehow we've triggered to mark them do not disturb, this is the trigger that we want to create to move them to the lost stage. Okay, so we're going to go click here. We're going to go to add update opportunity, and then we're going to choose our pipeline again, and we're going to choose the stage we want to move them to. Okay, same thing here, and then of course you could choose lost or abandoned if you wanted to do that. Okay, so all of those actions, that's how you automate. I mean, it's very, very simple, but again, you can do some really advanced things with this. It's just, I know that a lot of us are new to HighLevel. I know that I moved my whole agency, all of my clients, and all of that, and my affiliates to HighLevel. So I know that I have a lot of new members, myself included. So I just wanted to explain it in a way that really explains the pipeline and how you can really set this up and automate these processes. Of course, again. You could create whole workflows for each of the stages within the pipeline. Okay. So if I mark them do not disturb, or maybe I want to, like if we go back here to the opt in, so I'm going to say when they fill out a form, let's click here, form submitted. And then, or maybe I could even say email events. So maybe, let me change this actually. So maybe I want to say email events and then we'll add triggers. Okay. So maybe it's in a workflow or an event or something like that. So maybe they've clicked on an email and then that's what, my trigger is going to be. So I can do save trigger, click here. Um, and then I can choose any of these things here. So maybe I want to send an email, and then I can choose that email. So definitely go back, watch that training yesterday about all about the workflows. But I hope this helps you understand the pipeline and really the power of the system and how you can automate so many stages. You guys, I can't even believe, honestly. I used to work about 12, 16 hours a day. But I'm actually, because I've moved to this system, I'm actually working about 6 hours a day. It kind of blows my mind that I am able to automate so many things and save so much time. So I'm really like, wow, I don't, I, now I need to think about like the things that I need to do to go to the next level, right? So it's such a strange feeling to me to have so much free time. So what I'm doing actually, just to give you an update, HighLevel is actually coming out with a social media planner now. And so as of December 31st, we will have a social media planner, a scheduler. We will have WordPress. And we already have Shopify integration, and we will have a blog builder. So that's super, super exciting. So all of these cool things coming. So I've added to the membership area inside the resources. If you're already a member, there is a Shopify training. So how to set up your Shopify store and how to get traffic to your Shopify store. But also before the 31st, I will be having a complete WordPress training. So that, of course, it's all free to my members. So it's from beginner to advanced. It's literally about 100 videos. And then there's a guide and things like that to help you as well. Very, very good training. So definitely want to provide all of that. I know a lot of us are like afraid of WordPress, but you may have a client or it just might be your thing. You just might be like, I love WordPress. I just don't maybe know how to use it, or maybe you know how to use it, but you would definitely want to brush up on your skills, or maybe you want to, learn a little bit more. You can always learn more than you know. So let me see if I have any questions here. So hello, Karen. Hello, Floyd. Maria says Queen of Automation for sure. I love automation because look, there are so many videos about do this for a passive income, do this to generate, and really the whole thing is it doesn't matter what you're doing, what your niche is. Automation is what creates passive income. When you can set up your system, whatever it may be, whether you're a health coach or you're an agency or you're an affiliate marketer or a network marketer, automating your systems is what creates passive income, period. There's no way around it. Just automate it. I used to be a pharmacy tech, and it blows my mind because I can make more money in my sleep than I made in an entire week as a pharmacy tech. It blows my mind, really. So automation, that's why I love automation so much. It's real freedom. It's real freedom to live your life how you want to while you're making money, right? Or earning money. So thank you all so, so much for joining me. I will see you all. Oh, update though. So since Friday is Christmas Eve, we are going to, you guys let me know. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to do a training on Thursday, or would you rather do our weekly Q&A on Thursday? Definitely let me know what you would prefer, because Friday's Christmas Eve. I am actually celebrating with my family about the time that I would normally go live. So definitely let me know. I certainly don't want to abandon you. If you feel like you want to do I just was kind of like questioning the Q&A anyway, because it's the week of Christmas. I know everybody's so busy. And then, statistically, there's a low show rate for like Zoom meetings and things like that the week of Christmas. So I definitely want to accommodate you guys. If you feel like you need the Q&A on Thursday, definitely let me know. If not, if you're like, no, I think I'm good, I'm not really working on those things anyway, taking a break with my family, definitely understand. So you guys let me know in the chat what you want to do on Thursday, training or Q&A. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality.